Let's talk about your baby's due date. It's a question that gets asked so often, isn't it? And I'm sure if you're watching this and you're pregnant, you can really relate. So many people, whether it's friends and family or even strangers in the supermarket, will ask you the question, when is your baby due? And I want to talk to you about why it might not be a good idea to just give them that one date. Usually it's the 40-week date that we give them, because studies actually show, and you might have heard this, that only 3 or 4% of babies are actually born on that 40-week date, and most babies are born between 41 and 42 weeks gestation. And there's so much brain development that happens in those final few weeks of gestations with babies, and it's really, babies are better taking their time and being born when they're ready. And so it's not a good enough reason to induce just because of dates. We're really wanting to, as much as possible, unless there's a medical reason to induce, we're wanting to allow babies that time to continue their development in utero and allow that birth to happen when the baby is really ready and when your body is really ready to birth your baby as well. So it's a good idea to tell people more the 42-week date. If you've already told everybody the 40-week date, just say, well, my dates have changed, just decide to change them. And if you have to tell people a date, then give them that 42-week date rather than the 40-week date. Otherwise, it's a really good idea just to give them an estimation. So maybe say it's sometime around the end of whatever month your baby is expected, or even skip into the next month. So, sometime within the month of October, or whatever your birthing month might be. If you can be random like that, then it just takes the pressure off. Or if you can give them a date further down the track, then they will be just pleasantly surprised if your baby does arrive earlier and if they get that news earlier than they were expecting to. The thing is, if people know that 40-week date, you will start to get messages and phone calls and Facebook messages and text messages, all the messages leading up to that 40-week date from about 38 weeks, because everyone starts to get so excited. But if you continue to be pregnant, if nothing happens around that due date, then you can start to feel a little bit anxious. You don't know when your baby's going to be born any more than anybody else does. So it's really nice to just give yourself a little bit of space, a little bit of extra time, take that pressure off, and unless there's a medical reason to induce, allow your baby to decide his or her own birthing day.